Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. Today I will be working on my South Dakota album project, and I am going to be working on some photos that I took on the 1880s train. Now this train runs from Keystone to Hill City, and the pictures that I'm scrapbooking are the ones that were in the train depot for Keystone. And I'm using one of my go-to designs. This is a design that I learned from watching Chamel, and it's a really, really simple one. Basically, you're going to stack 3 photos, you're going to cut a 1-inch strip, and go from there. So the papers that I'm using are from Jen Hatfield, a couple of her different paper pads. And I did trim off a little bit of each of my photos because I want to put them on the diagonal, and I wanted a border around them with this gold paper. So I cut the paper, I cut a 1/2 inch off of each of the photos, and then I'm just going to go ahead and mount them on this gold paper here with the dots on it, and I'm just going to make it into a stack. And I do apologize because I told you before, I tend to scrapbook closer to me, and I have to remember to push the paper back away from me a little bit. So the bottom is a little bit off screen, but I do catch it at the very end, and you will see it, the full layout. And I think for the majority of the process video, you do see the embellishment clusters. So here I am, I'm just going and cutting that photo mat. And then you can also see my ring light, so unfortunately that's going to be on my glossy photos. So with this kind of a coralish pink, dark coral paper, I cut a 1-inch strip, and that's what Chamel does. And I'm just going to go ahead and mount that on this floral paper. And now she's done it before where it's like up and down. I've done them to where you run it from the left side, you run it from the right side. I've diagonaled it, so it really doesn't matter. The thing is that you're building it off of this 1-inch strip. And you could probably, even if you wanted, add washi tape to it or other paper to beef up that strip going down. But to keep it simple, I just went with the 1-inch strip. I've put it in many of my different albums, and what's neat about it is that as you're flipping through, no one's going to know that you just scrap lifted a layout that you've done before, because the papers change it, and how you angle things change it, and how the size of the pictures changes it. So here I am, I'm just going and putting it on that strip, and then I'm just going to kind of angle the paper to what looks good for me, and I'm going to glue it down. Now I'm going to do what Chamel does, and basically what she does is she picks 3 different areas and she runs washi tape across it. So my first cluster is going to be in the bigger portion, which is the bottom left, and where I'm going to put the Happy Day tag. And here I am. Right now I'm looking for my washi tape. That's the one thing I didn't grab when I was kind of getting ready before I filmed. So I wanted to really match up that kind of that hunter green, but I didn't, believe it or not, with all the washi tape I have, I didn't have anything with that hunter green color. I had more of the green like you'd see like on a Christmas tree, the evergreen, and it just didn't look right. So I grabbed my favorite washi tape of all, and this is when washi tape was just first coming out. It actually comes from Japan, and at the time I was flying, and so this roll of gold washi tape was actually from Japan that I bought, and so it's a very coveted souvenir that I bought back in the day. So I'm just putting it in 3 different spots, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and build my clusters up. So I pulled out a few different things to try and see what I wanted to use to build my clusters up. So I'm going to take this frame that I fussy cut out of some paper a while back, and it's been in my die cut drawer. So I just put a little piece of that, and I'm going to run it underneath the washi tape. And I'm going to take the other part and I'm just going to stick it up above and have it go over the top and trim off the excess. So now it's in the two sections. Then I grab this pink tag and I'm going to tuck that, or I'm sorry, this is a little fussy cut tag that has a bird on it that I stick on there. And then these flowers that I have, these were actually using Vicky Bouton stamp set, and I had just stamped them in black ink on some colored paper and had cut them out, and I've had them in my stash for a while. And so that's what I'm going to use on each of the clusters. And then I grabbed these tags that were like tickets, and I'm not sure which embellishment kit those came from, but I cut a little piece and I have that going at the top, and also I tuck it underneath that tag with the bird on it. And here's why I'm going and popping up some of these embellishments. I have, again, the stamped flowers that I'm putting in each of the little sections. And I'm just cutting the foam. On this one I was having a little bit of trouble because I could see the yellow underneath and I wanted to cover it up. And I can't see what I'm doing, but I think I'm still adding them down to the bottom. And then I'm also going to add, I don't know if I've got it yet, but a butterfly that I'm going to put in with that bottom cluster as well. And I'm just going to stick that in the corner and I'm going to pop that up on some fun foam. Oh, I first put this flower underneath. And I'm just building layers. So I'm going through all the embellishments I kind of pulled out and had sitting to the side on my desk. And I'm just trying to raise them up. I grabbed one of these bows that came from, oh, what's the name of that collection? Can't think of it right now, but it's another collection. I had gotten it from Peachy Cheap. And I'll remember it tonight at like midnight. So now I'm just going through, again, I'm just popping things up on foam. In the bottom cluster, I'm going to end up having, here's the butterfly. That's from Vicky Bouton. I tried to put this paper clip on, but I just didn't like the way it looked. I have trouble with paper clips, I don't know about you. And so I kind of went through and I've got those tickets. I kind of staggered them and got them in behind the tag. Now I'm grabbing my One Canoe 2 sticker book and I'm going to grab some of the gold arrows and I'm going to put that pointing at the butterfly. I tried using that arrow, but it was just too clear on the wood grain. It wouldn't stand off, and I didn't want to introduce more white onto the page. So I put the arrows on, and then on the other clusters I'm just going to put a gold star, so now it's in each of the clusters. And then I find another arrow that's not clear, this one here, and I'm going to put that at the top and have it pointing at the flower. And I think that's, I grabbed one phrase sticker that says Adventure Awaits, and I'm going to put that above the Happy Days tag. I really wanted to put a second one in, but I didn't like anywhere on there. It looked out of place, so I ended up not putting any more on. And I think that was it for the sticker book. I didn't really see anything else that I wanted. So now I'm going to grab these puffy stickers that are from Chamel. I think they're from Little U. And I put a camera in the upper cluster. I put a little fox in the bottom cluster. And I think that's it for my layout. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Here's the close-ups. If you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you as a subscriber, and please like my layout or the video if you liked what you saw today. Thanks again and have a great day.